The year is 2006. I have successfully sold a startup catering business, paid off student loans, paid off credit cards, gone back to work. I am married with 2 children, ages 4 and 2. Life is pretty swell. In the early spring of 2006, I'm laid off from that job, fired, downsized, whatever you want to call it. 6 weeks later, my wife, who's in a similar industry, is downsized, laid off, fired, whatever you want to call it. We are 2 married people with 2 small children, a mortgage, and no car, by the way, because the sales jobs provided company cars, which of course went away when the job went away. We are approaching our mid to late 30s with no really any prospects in a similar industry. Once you get over 30, guys, to be honest, in that industry, you're over the hill. Just FYI to you guys that are in it, watch yourselves. This is before the Great Recession of '08, of course, so things were actually going good. Real estate was booming. A lot of people were into that. So really having a long shot of getting back into medical sales. We tried our hand at a number of other things, which never really stuck. As the year goes on and the unemployment is about to run out, things get a little tight. Start getting a little bit worried. Now, the prior business that I had went well. It was a good experience. I had not thought about getting back into the food service industry. That was really the last thing from my mind. I had a great time with it, but it's a lot of hard work, and I wanted to kind of kick my feet up and just enjoy the experience and get back to the working world or whatnot, but that was not to be. Fast forward to December of '06. Again, no job prospects for either one of us, really. We're going to have to start to burn through savings, maybe have to sell a rental property that we have. These are the realities that came up. We get a phone call. I get a phone call one day from my wife, who just got off the phone with her brother, my brother-in-law, talking about a little restaurant that some guys he knows are operating. It hasn't been open too long, but they want to move on from it and they are looking to sell. She calls me on the phone. I'm at my mother's house, actually. This is in December, so I am shoveling her snow. It's about 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. It's getting dark. I'm cold. I'm upset. I'm nervous. I'm broke. I'm like, what am I going to do? She gives me a call. She says, hey, George called and said, these guys got this little restaurant in Broad Ripple. It's a neighborhood here in town. And they may be wanting to get out. And he was asking me, did we still want to maybe try that little burger idea we talked about years ago? And I thought about it for a quick minute. Like I said, I was frustrated. My head wasn't in a good space. I kind of said no, said something, and then just kind of hung up. Finished doing what I was doing. Got back home a little later. She said, hey, let's talk about this some more, because, you know, maybe there's some potential there. You had a lot of fun with the business. I'm not doing anything. Maybe this is something we could try. I said, all right, well, let's go take a look at it. So it was I think it was that same night, we did a drive-by, looked at the location, looked at the spot. They were open. We did not go in, but we just kind of went around the block and came back around and sat there for about 10 or 20 minutes just looking at it, talking. Well, the situation was this. In about another 2 or 3 weeks, we were going to be out of money and still not have a job, and had a decision to make. So we said, you know, why not? Were we scared? Yes. Were we uncomfortable? Yes. Were we unsure of the idea? Yes. But here's the thing, guys. We were uncomfortable, scared, and unsure anyway because we had nothing going on. Somebody is in that position right now. Okay. Now, granted, back in '08, we did not have a worldwide pandemic and everything was closed. Um, but still, people are going to get back out. Things are going to open back up, and people are going to continue to spend money, especially in eateries. Okay. We had no idea really what was around the corner coming in '08. The good thing is we decided at the end of '06 to try the idea out. We opened in '07 because if we still would have been floundering or maybe finally gotten a job that we didn't really like but needed to get a job for the sake of working and would have been underemployed, and then the recession would have hit a year or so after that, we would have been in an even worse situation. So the purpose of this channel, guys, is to kind of motivate you to flesh out your idea, do the planning now for a year from now, let's say 18 months from now. You're not going to open your restaurant next week or next month. Okay, this is roughly April of 2020. Everything, a lot of places are still on lockdown. Don't even think about that now. You're going to wait a little bit. Okay, but there will be massive opportunity. Some of you may not have a job waiting on you, because here's the thing: you're going to become an entrepreneur one of two ways: by choice or by force. This particular place for us was opened by force because we were up against the wall and fighting for our life. How I got into the business the first time was actually by choice, and that's another video I'll make later. But you'd be surprised when you're up against the wall, guys, and when the pressure's on, how you can perform. And instead of the worry and the kind of the doubt, the self-doubt, it may mess around and work for you. Now, this is not just our story. There were half a dozen other restaurants that opened in our city around '07 or '08 that jammed. And many of them, most of them, a lot of them are still open to this day. Some of them opened second locations. They went into other concepts. Some have left the industry. Some have left and come back. But everybody did okay if they had it together. So that's the purpose of this channel, guys. We want to talk about your restaurant, your idea in food service. We've done a couple of them. We've been in restaurants, like I said. We've been in catering. We've done concessions. It's a great, fantastic business. Even if you're not in that business, we think that you will enjoy what we're talking about as you proceed on your journey towards independence and being in control of your future. More on the early days of kind of our struggle with the restaurant. But I will tell you this, guys, and it's not, a lot of us don't talk about it, especially restaurant people. It's not polite to talk about money, but it's time that we start talking about money and what's going on out here. But to be completely transparent, during the last Great Recession, our place and many others, we never ever felt it. There was so much money being made, it was obscene. Folks, it was obscene. And those that were able to get in early and ride that wave when people came out of that financial difficulty, pew! Now, people came in a little bit later and still did okay, and some of them are still around. But by that time, everybody wanted to, open the brew pub or the burger joint or the pizza joint or whatever it was. But those that were early to the game did well. Okay? Do not fear a financial situation that's going on with the masses. And do not let that prevent you from pursuing your plan. Because here's the thing: even though there's record unemployment, even though there's a lot of people out of work. Guys, not everybody is out of work. Everybody is not out of work in the town, right? Even if there's half of them, you have half to work with. And you have to think of it this way. Get your sales $5 at a time, $10 at a time, $20 at a time. The only thing you really have to do is show up every day. Okay, you have to know what you're doing and have a good service and a good product, but half the battle, guys, is opening your doors consistently and being there as the owner, at least in the early days. If you do that, you're doing better than 90% of people out here that are just talking about what they want to do and watching from the sidelines. Because by the time a lot of those people that watched during the sidelines came in 2012, 2013, 2014, guys, the money was already made. The good people were already employed in the front and back of house and actually started getting out the last couple of years. So those folks, had more of an uphill battle. So now's the time for a reset. Again, you're not trying to open a place next month. We are doing the planning for a year or so from now, right? Maybe 2 years from now. But this recession, this depression coming up is going to save somebody else's life too. Or maybe you'll kind of look back hang back and wait on the next, job opportunity. Guys, the time now is to plan for your business to set yourself up for the next 5, 10, 15 years, whatever. So we want to be your friends with that. We are going to do hopefully some fun stuff on the channel. We're going to get on in the field. We're going to look at locations. We're going to talk about ideas. We're going to interview some people. We're going to keep real talk going on around here. Please feel free to ask me anything that you would like. But I want to get back to saying, guys, do not let a difficult time financially, really either for yourself or with the public, to dampen your ideas on your business. We're also here to talk about opening businesses without a lot of money. I will have a video on basically how I got started overall in the business for about $500 or so, and eventually led to $500,000, $1 million a year businesses. So it's just if you want to do it or not. Anyway, so thank you for listening. Like the channel, share the channel, subscribe if you'd like. We're going to get the ball rolling. I will try to be somewhat consistent with posting some content. Thank you for bearing with me as I am getting through this, and we will see you guys on the next video.